Welcome to Brudiclad. As far as our opening hand goes, yes, I love it. We've got two lands in our hand. We've got a Artifact Tutor. Also have Anticipate to hopefully dig for another red source. And we got two very, very nice late game payoff cards with Supplant and then also Shihili's Artistry. So we're going to keep on this one. I like it. And also, if you're keeping score at home, this is definitely a Good Morning Vietnam video. In fact, it's the very first video of a Good Morning Vietnam video. So, if some funny business happens during today's video, oh, there we go. Hit a fetch land. There we go. Just giving you a heads up, just in case something goofy happens. This is it's 6 o'clock in the morning, so that's what we got going on. Anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Brudiclad, Telcore Engineer. In fact, if you want to check it out, I released it on MTG Traders this past Friday, and had a lot of fun playing Brudiclad. Amazing commander. Creature tokens you control have haste. Then, at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/1 blue mirror artifact creature token. Then, you may choose a token you control. Doesn't have to be a creature token either. If you do, each other token you control becomes a copy of that token. Opponent's going to lead off with a Weathered Wayfarer. Let's go and crack Wooded Foothills. Let's go and grab a blue-red source. Let's grab Steam Vents. Have that come into play tapped. Not going to pay 2 life. Nope, we're good. And then we'll let the Nomad Cleric get on the battlefield. Play against Tajik, Legion's Edge, Haste, and Mentor. Then prevent all non-combat damage to be dealt to other creatures you control. Then for a 2-mana activation, Tajik gains first strike until end of turn. They're going to get down Weathered Wayfarer. I don't know why, but I've always appreciated that Weathered Wayfarer is a Nomad Cleric. I don't know. There's always a soft spot in my heart for clerics, as you can tell. I've got the Church of Athreos deck ensemble on my channel. But yeah, I don't know. I've always enjoyed that he's a Nomad Cleric. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's go and get down Island, and then that's still going to put us on Anticipate. So we'll go and leave that for our opponent's turn. And then anything else, no, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Now, unfortunately, since we do have, well, actually, no, we need to have more lands than our opponent does. Yeah, so as long as they keep making their land drops, we're going to be golden on this Weathered Wayfarer. And thankfully, us playing blue-red, there's not really a way for us to ramp with lands other than just getting down some mana rock. So we'll be going for this Anticipate. Now, as far as Fabricate goes, we'll kind of see exactly what we want to get going. We do have, some of our fast mana, Skull Clamp, Soul Ring. If we had something like Young Pyro, well, actually, we might go for, we go Imperial Recruiter into Young Pyromancer, Fabricate, Skull Clamp. That does sound pretty good. That's a really long line of play, but I kind of like that if you're following at home. So we go Imperial Recruiter, Young Pyromancer, get down Young Pyromancer. That's going to leave us holding up Anticipate, and then we can go for Fabricate and Anticipate. Yeah, let's go for that. Especially if our opponent doesn't hit a red source, that's going to definitely allow us to get some pretty good card advantage going. Odric. Yeah, I think that's okay right now. Once we get those tokens going, we'll be pretty good. So yeah, let's go for that. Because we go Imperial Recruiter, Young Pyromancer, then we start rolling out some of these instant sorceries. And, ooh, Rite of Replication. I like that. Let's go to get down Gargoyle Castle. Let's go for Imperial Recruiter. He's going to be like, Young Pyromancer, where you at, buddy? Come on. Brudiclad's calling you. He needs to speak to you in his office. And whenever I think about Telcore, I always think about, it reminds me of like the name of the fake corporation on Office Space. Let's go and grab Young Pyromancer. It's going to go into our hand, and then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, we're at 28 life. They get down Odric. There's nothing too crazy on the battlefield right now. So we're just looking at a 1/1 and a 3/3. So once we get down Young Pyromancer, and then that still actually puts us in a position where we can actually go for Anticipate too to get that token going. And then next turn we'll go Fabricate, and then start ripping through our hand. Pretty much with Brudiclad, you want to get as many tokens on the battlefield, and getting them down with Young Pyromancer is always an excellent way to do that. But if you can draw 2 cards per turn, that feels pretty good. So it's kind of like we're sacrificing our board state in the short term for some really nice card advantage, which will help us out in the long term. But yeah, long story short, with this actual particular deck, the way I've got my deck set up is that the way we're going to generate tokens is going to be through stuff like Young Pyromancer. So we get down Young Pyromancer, we simply do what we normally want to do in a blue-red deck, and let's get down Young Pyromancer, start casting stuff like Anticipate, Fabricate, we get those tokens on the battlefield. Then once we finally go for something like Brudiclad, we're going to use something like Form or Shihili's Artistry to make a copy of one of our opponent's big payoff creatures. Now, we could run a few creatures in our deck that would be really advantageous for us to make a copy of, but I really enjoy the kind of the gambling side of running Artistry in Supplant form to kind of just grab some stuff from our opponent and use that to turning all of these 1/1 elemental tokens into some like a ton of field marshals. I don't know. It's kind of fun. It's a really fun commander. And I'll kind of explain a little bit more about Brudiclad here in a second. But our opponent has not actually hit their red source yet, so that's a little bit of a bummer. Yeah, let's go and go for Pyromancer. Let's get down Young Pyromancer. It's going to be colorless and then red. And that'll put us on for Anticipate. We'll see if they've got some sort of source of Plowshare or some sort of action like that. So we'll get down Young Pyromancer. We'll simply just go and pass the turn. We'll go and hold up Anticipate, and that way we can dig a little bit deeper. And then I think that puts us at Fabricate, make the land drop, and then we get to sacrifice one of our tokens to get some card draw. So then hopefully we can kind of start going from there. But yeah, actually, and that's the cool thing about Form is that we return a target creature to its owner's hand. Is that, oh, Source of Plowshare. Okay, yeah, so we're definitely going to go for this Anticipate. So they did have some. We'll at least get a token out of the deal, and we'll probably still end up going for Fabricate. I think that'll be pretty good. Because at this point right now, we need to get bodies on the battlefield, we need to get some card draw going. So let's go for Anticipate, and one card goes into our hand. I guess we just make the land drop. I mean, we could go for Arcane Denial, but if we're going, we need 6 mana, and we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's just go and grab Flooded Strand, and we'll put the rest on the bottom in any order. Not the best Anticipate in the world, but it's better than nothing. And then we're going to get 2 life gains. So there we go. Yeah, we'll probably still end up going for Fabricate because we have a couple different ways to make a few more tokens. We do have Murmuring Mystic, so if we do draw into Murmuring Mystic, we can get that down, start casting some of our spells, get those Frankie tokens on the battlefield, or mini Franken tokens, I should say. And then once we go for that, the Skull Clamp, that allows us to really get some good card draw going. All right, so we draw into Chromatic Lantern. Let's go and get down Flooded Strand. Let's go and grab that Volcanic Island. Let's go for Fabricate. There we go. It's going to be blue. And then we're going to go and grab Skull Clamp. We're just going to go and put it onto that Elemental at this point right now. And then next turn we can use it for Imperial Recruiter. We do have River's Rebuke in here, and we do also have Cyclonic Rift. So if we can grab some sort of board control, hopefully soon, then that'll allow us to kind of stop some of this bleeding that is our life total. Let's go and get down Skull Clamp. Let's go and put it onto that Elemental. And then we'll decide if we want to block with Imperial Recruiter or not. Let's go for the Skull Clamp onto Elemental. Okay, so we're going to get 2 cards, and every time I go for a Skull Clamp activation, I'm still just amazed that this card exists. This card is just silly. Okay, we're drawn to Psy. There we go. I like that. Okay, so we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We will leave up Imperial Recruiter because, yeah, we can either go for Skull Clamp or we actually go for a Rite of Replication. But drawing into side definitely helped us hopefully kind of get another board state developed. Now, the only downside is we did make our 5th land drop, so that does put Weather Wayfarer online to grab a red source. That does put them in a position to where they can go for Tajik. And so, but at this point right now, if we get down Psy, that's going to be 1, 2, 3. We get down Chromatic Lantern. That'll be another Thopter token. Yeah, we can get some stuff. We're kind of at that position now at 17 life to where one more hit that's going to get us into the low teens. And hopefully we can stabilize. Tajik's pretty good. Not gonna lie, I've played against it. I need to build Tajik actually, but I really enjoy Tajik's ability in this new set. I've never been much of a Boros fan. PJ's kind of showing me the way a little bit. Commander Replay. In fact, go check his channel out if you haven't checked it out. But yeah, with he's definitely a Boros bruiser, or the lead Boros person. Prevent all non-combat damage to be dealt, and then against that Mentor ability, I don't know, it just works really well, especially in a commander format. You know, they always want to make red-white have some sort of combat trick, and so the fact that they can get that +1 ability on their creatures, as far as a multiplayer setting, I don't know how well Tajik would work, but in a 1 versus 1 setting, Tajik is definitely a really good opponent. You got stuff like Swiftblade Vindicator that they just got down. It's got Double Strike 2/2, put an extra token on there, or extra +1 counter on there. And yeah, things get going pretty quick. Okay, so we've got Double Strike. That's going to be 8. That's going to be 12. That's going to put us down to 5. See, this is what I'm talking about. Okay. I guess we let, it's going to have trample too. So yeah, might as well just go and hold on to Imperial Recruiter. That's 1 point of damage we're trying to save. That's going to put us down to 5. Oh, Cyclonic Rift without the... well, I guess technically we can bounce back Odric. That's about the only way we can really do this. So we go for Psy. Chromatic Lantern. That still keeps us off the actual... yeah, let's still go and get down Psy. That's a pretty nice rip. Actually, if we're going for a Cyclonic, no, because we're dead next turn. If we don't bounce back Odric, then we're just we're done. Yeah, so let's get down Psy. That way we can get a little bit more stuff going. If we're going to go for Skull Clamp onto Imperial Recruiter, that way we can still go for Cyclonic Rift, bouncing Odric back to the hand. But even then, they probably still have it. Let's go and draw into a few more cards. Okay. Yeah, because they swing with the entire crew. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they're going to get it. We'll see, though. Yeah. Sorry about that. My alarm was going off. Got up before my alarm. But yeah, I think our opponent's going to get on this one. But I'll still go and post this one up because you can see Tajik did a pretty good job. And this is pretty much what we want to be doing in Brudiclad. You know, getting down a lot of tokens, but unfortunately that Source of Plowshare really kind of stopped our game plan. Let's just go and get rid of Shahili's Artistry at this point right now, because I don't think we're going to live to see another day, but we'll at least go ahead and go for Cyclonic Rift. But this is pretty much what you want to do with Brudiclad. Get down Young Pyromancer. Did get exiled, but we'll at least go and point at Young Pyromancer. Get down Young Pyromancer, get those tokens going. Hopefully you're not playing against an aggressive deck like Tajik, where they're just getting something out turn after turn. And then, yeah, you know, make a copy of something. So, like, let's say that our opponent has Field Marshal out there. This is what makes this deck so much fun, is that let's say that we have 5 or 6 Young Pyromancer tokens on the battlefield. We go for Supplement 4, make a copy of Field Marshal. Then all of our tokens turn into this Tribal Lord, and they're going to cascade off, not cascade, but build off of each other. Other soldiers get +1/+1 and first strike. So next thing you know, all of our 5/5s are, you know, 4 or 5/5, 6/6s, whatever that is, once you get the +1/+1 going for each other creature. And that's what makes it a lot of fun. In fact, in the video for MTG Traders, I got down a whole flock of a creature. I don't want to ruin it, but it was pretty cool. And so that's what makes this, and this is one of those commanders that when it was spoiled, I was like, man, I didn't know I needed this in my life, but I did. And I'm glad it's in our life. I'm glad Brudiclad's in our life. It's just an interesting way to, it's the perfect commander for Commander, I should say. It's just something that's, I don't know, a lot of fun. Okay. Oh, and excuse me, we went to the combat step, so yeah, it was fine. Good game to our opponent. I forgot, I thought it was at the, yeah, we should have bounced it back, but either way, we're not doing good once Tajik came down. So good game to our opponent. They're going to get that Mentor ability. But on paper, this is exactly what we're going to get going. So that's why I'll probably still end up posting this video. And to the Boros people out there like PJ, I'm sure PJ's like, yes, for the Legion. All right, let's put us down to -8. Good game to our opponent. In fact, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to 1-800 Are You Flapping, No Napping, Double Slapping, Zetalpa. As far as our opening hand goes, we don't have a white source, but man, that's a lot of mana. I think we're going to keep. Yep. I hit the keep button. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I saw Soul Ring in Ancient Tomb, and that's... and Lightning Greaves. I like that a lot. So we're going to keep on this one. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the Magic Gods treat us well. And we draw into White Source, so that's going to be the main thing that we need to run into. But yes, we're playing against the value train. So we've got Zetalpa, the flying bird. Let's see if we can't take the value train out of the air. A little aerial combat. Draw into Apostle's Blessing. Okay. Let's go ahead and lead off with... Not this... Well, yeah, so we go Command Beacon, Soul Ring, into Lightning Greaves. Yeah, I like that. We don't have to get down Ancient Tomb just yet, so let's go and get down Soul Ring. Let's go for Lightning Greaves. And then, once again, we're fingers crossed, we're going to hope we hit that white source. We'll get down Lightning Greaves, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Zetalpa, Flying, Double Strike, Vigilance, Trample, and Indestructible. So we've got, once we get Zetalpa on the battlefield, Zetalpa starts flapping its wings, starts knocking a bunch of stuff around, and I don't know, I always enjoy that mental image of just... Kind of like, you know, the movies in Jurassic Park when they're running away from a dinosaur, and then the dinosaur just, like, jumps on the ground and just, like, knocks a few people out of the way as it jumps out of the air. I always like to imagine Zetalpa like that. Let's go and get down Ancient Tomb. And then once again, we have no white mana. We're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Playing against Unesh, Kriyas Sphinx Sovereign, the official driver of the value train. Sphinx spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Then whenever Unesh or another Sphinx enters the battlefield under your control, you have a mini Factor Fiction for 4 cards. Put 1 pile into your hand and the other pile goes into your graveyard. And we get to choose what pile. And also, speaking of the Unesh value train, if you wanted to, if you didn't catch it, last Friday, I did a Weather Wayfair, okay. Let's go and pass the turn. We'll hit a white source soon, sometime. This past Friday, I played with Austin from Commander 99. He did a stream, and I recorded it, and I released it this past Friday, and I played the Unesh value train. So if you ever wanted to see the Unesh value train, you know, fly into a multiplayer game, that's a good video for you. So it's only a couple videos back, and especially depending on when I release this video, it'll probably be 3 or 4 videos back. But I had a lot of fun. The value train, it made me realize I really need to get some, we need some breaks on the value train. I need to get Elixir of Mortality in there. It's getting a little silly at this point now that we don't have some sort of way to shuffle stuff back into my library. But yeah, it's still fun. It's fun to operate the value train that way. So if you want to see some pretty good card advantage, I highly recommend checking that out. So our opponent's going to go for Fact or Fiction. I guess at this point right now, we go Triple Island and then Monolith and Reliquary Tower. I think that's the best bet. Because if we go Reliquary Tower and Islands, and that's like a snap keep, and then Monolith and Reliquary Tower, you definitely want Reliquary Tower in Unesh. So yeah, let's go and split it up that way. That way we at least kind of have all the triple blue. Yep, there we go. So they're going to take Reliquary Tower and that artifact. And then once again, fingers crossed, we're going to pray to the dinosaur gods that we get a white source. Now, if you haven't seen Zetalpa before, what are we doing with this deck? You may be like, wow, man, I can't wait to play this deck. Jolt's done a really good job of showing it off. This is pretty much just kind of like a white gotcha deck. As you can tell, we have stuff like Mana Tithe in here. We have Dispatch, Brave the Elements. We have a lot of different things that allow us to kind of stop what our opponent's doing. And once that buys us enough time to get down Zetalpa, the magic gods, they're making us pay for this. Okay, so we're going to go and pass the turn. I guess at this point, I think I kind of do like Windborn Muse in this particular matchup, because that's going to, if the value train gets going really good, then we can stop at least some of the value train from swinging in at us. So Apostle's Blessing, Dispatch, Angel. I guess we get rid of Angel. Well, that's going to be a flyer, and we probably will need some flyers on our side of the battlefield. We do have Brave the Elements. And then some crazy world, we actually can get Weather Wayfarer going pretty quick. So let's go and get rid of Apostles. Actually, Mana Tithe. Yeah, Mana Tithe. Once our opponent's got down Monolith and like 5 lands, Mana Tithe really loses its luster as the game wears on. So we'll get rid of that. But yeah, for the most part, you know, we've got a lot of different gotcha spells in here. And then we're looking to get down Zetalpa. It's a little bit Voltron. We do have stuff like Sword of Feast and Famine in here, Sword of Fire and Ice. And so we get that onto Zetalpa. It's indestructible. It has Trample, so it's the perfect commander for, let's go Triple Island. There we go. They'll still get a little bit extra value if they take this blue pile, but that Mana Crypt always helps, so we'll at least kind of force them to take that Mana Crypt. But yeah, you know, it's one of the best Voltron commanders out there. Flying, Double Strike, Vigilance, and Trample, and Indestructible. The only downside is it costs 8 mana, so that's why stuff like Ancient Tomb, Soul Ring, when I saw that in my opening hand, I was like, yeah, this is great. We're going to keep on this one. We just need to hit a white source, but we haven't hit it yet, so keep our, you know, you got to keep. I like keeping risky hands sometimes. It always feels really good. On this one, let's go ahead and split it up. So if we go Saskia, that's going to be a pretty good recursion out of their hand. But Amiiboy Changeling is going to be a really good way for them to cast it pretty cheap, and they can just straight up just cast Saskia with that 2 mana. Let's do it like this. So let's go for the Amiiboy Changeling. Yeah, I like that split. So that way they can still cast it off Unesh if they want to. They get a couple islands that we don't have to worry about that 4 mana activation of them getting a lot more. But you can see how potent the Unesh value train is sometimes with man, this this list looks really familiar. Okay, so we got Brainstorm, Stunt Devil, Jace. Let's see, how do we want to sequence this? So we've got Jace, we've got Stunt Devil. I think we leave Jace by himself. I think we can't handle Jace, you know, co-piling the Unesh value train. I don't know if we can handle that. All right, so we're going to do it like this. So we're going to have Jace, Brainstorm, and then Stunt Double on the other one. If they want to take, yeah, okay, so they take Jace. So hopefully we can find a way to deal with Jace. But you can pretty much see what makes the Unesh value train so good. Oh, yeah, we just confirmed it. Okay, our opponent did confirm that they are playing my list. All right, so we've got Shapeshifter swinging across. I was like, man, this is like I felt like I entered this weird Bizarro land of like I feel like I'm seeing the Unesh value train pass before me, but I'm not on it, and that's why I had this weird feeling. And also with Magic Online, So I need to get this set up. So they changed the chat to where you have to opt into the chat. So I need to turn chat back on. I don't think I have it on accident, but yeah, they turn chat off. So if you don't want to talk to random people, you can turn it off. And also, recently there was kind of a little bit of a Magic Online crash, and I'll kind of talk about that a little bit. Magic, like, long story short, if you didn't catch the news, so like Channel Fireball pulled out an article saying Arena's killing Magic Online. Which, you know, there's some truth to that. I'm drawing the Mana Vault. Let's don't get it down. Okay, so that's going to be 4, that's going to be 8, that's going to be 9. There's some weird world where we can survive this. Yeah, we'll get it down. Let's go for Mana Vault. Because we're keeping up on mana, but it's just we're having a little bit of a hard time getting there. Okay, an opponent's going to go for Stubborn Denial, and they could definitely catch that Stubborn Denial. So they're going to catch our Mana Vault, and then our opponent said that they only played Arena, but then they saw the Unesh video enough times. We're like, all right, we'll pick it up. And to be perfectly honest, like, just to kind of talk about that story, Magic Online prices have just bottomed out. That Channel Fireball article mentioned that Magic Online is dying because of Arena, which there's a little bit of truth to that. You know, it's not necessarily, I think they phrased it as killing Magic Online. But, I mean, Arena doesn't have Commander, it doesn't have Eternal, it doesn't have Modern, it doesn't have Cubes. I mean, there's just, they're hitting different markets. That's the best way to target Arena. Arena is going to hit the, if you want to play Magic Online, you want to play Magic Online. Like look at the client. Like, even in my overlay, like, I do my best to make this look somewhat like fun to play, and it takes a lot of overlay work. So yes, like, this client is very outdated, but it still doesn't change the fact that it has the entire Magic history on Magic Online, and that's what makes it so good. All right, so let's go ahead and go Swan Song with Teleria West. That way at least they have a land that enters the battlefield tapped. But yeah, so basically they released that article, and then Wizards released that they're going to be doing $10 million, I think, in prize support for Paper Magic. And let's go. Oh man, this is... I get why people scoop so quick sometimes. Urza's Incubator. When you just hit like 4 or 5 Fact or Fiction piles in a row, you're just like, you just see so many cards and you're like, this is done. We'll do this. We'll go Chrome Mox on this one. And so they announced $10 million in prize support for Paper Magic and Magic Arena. And there was like no mention of Magic Online. So people are like, uh-oh, WTF, mate. What does that mean for Magic Online? So then next thing you know, Card Hoarder and like MTG Traders, they end up like, hey, we're not buying collections right now. It's kind of like the scene in It's a Wonderful Life where they make a run for the bank. And so it's just very much that's what happened. The prices bottomed out. So if you want to buy into some good Commander, let me put it this way, you know, maybe Magic Online is on the way out, but it's not going on the way out except for, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more years, somewhere in there. Oh man, we just hit Urza's Incubator. I forgot I had that in here. It's kind of a weird thing. But, so this is going to be 4. Man, we're going to scoop this one up. This one's pretty rough. Good game to our opponent. Just hoping to hit a white source. But, looks like they're going to get on. I'll probably throw this video up on the end of another Zetalpa video or something else, but it's kind of fun to actually play against the Unesh value train. So good game to our opponent. It's always fun to see the Unesh value train, and it's always fun to get a little bit of Magic Online talk. But yeah, so long story short, if you're on the fence about buying into Magic Online, now's one of the best times to do it. You can definitely buy into some really cool cards if you love Modern, like Overgrown Tomb. Like on Friday was like 24 cents. I'm like, dude, you can get a playset of Overgrown Tombs for like $1. So you know, the future of Magic is definitely Arena, but you know, Magic Online's here to stay in some capacity until they shut it down. So might as well have some fun till they do that. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to the Unesh value trade, where if you're not sure, if you do not read the pre-flight pamphlet, you are encouraged to follow your dreams. Now, as far as opening hand goes, yeah, we're going to keep on this one. I like this. We have Lightning Greaves, we have 3 lands, and we also have Thirst for Knowledge. So that sounds pretty good. It's going to allow us to dig a little bit deeper into our library, and then hopefully find a few more lands to get this Unesh value train going onto the battlefield. Playing against Joyra, so hopefully should be a fun matchup. Nothing too busted from our opponent, but if they do, it'd be pretty fun to see. So, and I would not complain. Yeah. Let's go lead off with Halimar Depths. We have nothing for turn 1, so I think that'll work out pretty well. Let's go lead off with Halimar Depths. Get the not Scry 3, but look at the top 3 going. Alright, so Rite of Replication, Double Island. Let's go ahead and do, I guess we're pretty far away from Rite of Replication either way, so we're just going to go Island, right, and then Island on top, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We are playing Unesh, Cryosphinx Sovereign, the official conductor of the value trade into outer space, where you're encouraged to follow your dreams. Flying Sphinx spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Whenever Unesh or another Sphinx enters the battlefield under your control, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put it separates those cards into 2 piles, put 1 pile into your hand, the other pile into your graveyard. Playing against Joyra, the Weatherlight Captain, or Jahora, depending on if this is your first time doing the deck on her. Whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card, and that's going to be an artifact legendary Saga 2. That's all considered historic. Let's go to get down Island. Let's go for Lightning Greaves. It's going to be 1-2, and then we'll work on getting down Videlic Shackle. Might go for Thirst for Knowledge next turn. I don't know. We'll see. But at least we'll get down Lightning Greaves. Hopefully this sticks, because Lightning Greaves is actually really nice with Unesh. Opponent's going to go for Brainstorm. Okay, that's fine. Go for it. Okay, and see if this sticks. They do leave 1 red mana up, so I doubt they're going to have some sort of counter spell. Get down Lightning Greaves, and then we'll kick it back over there to our opponent. We did cover both commanders. It's free time. We can talk about whatever we want. And that's going to be the value train. So we've had some really nice upgrades to the value train. Kind of redid the transmission, got a little bit more horsepower on the engine. We have stuff like Mana Vault, Soul Ring, Mana Crypt that are really kind of helping us kind of go into outer space a little bit quicker than normal. Let's go and get down Island. You know, I really like going, we could get down Shackles, but we're just leaving ourselves open for a counter spell. So I don't mind going for Thirst for Knowledge. It's going to be a really good tempo play for us, just kind of digging 3 cards deeper into our library. And then we can also do that in response to Joyra being cast. So I'm A-okay with that, or just jam it next turn. But yeah, kind of overhaul the engine, transmission. We've got a lot of that fast mana in here, which is really, really nice. And then got a few more key blue cards in here. Let's go and go for Thirst for Knowledge at the end step. Ooh, Soul Ring. Let's go ahead and discard. I guess at this point right now, we can go and get rid of, that's going to be, with Soul Ring, yeah, we can go and get rid of 2 cards, because I like holding on to both artifacts. So we'll get rid of Island, get rid of Island. Nykthos is going to be a really good thing for us to get down, especially once we get down Unesh. So I'm just going to get down Island. Let's go ahead and go for Soul Ring. I think that sounds good. Let's go ahead and get down Monolith. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. And do we want to tap down Shackles at this point right now? Yeah, let's go ahead and go for that. Maybe they have some sort of spot removal. It's not the end of the world. So let's go ahead and get down Shackles. That way we can grab something over there. And then we'll go ahead and look at how explosive that turn was. I love it. And then we'll go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. So we're online for getting Unesh down onto the battlefield. Get that Factor Fiction going. The only thing that we don't really have going on right now is some sort of Unesh or some sort of Sphinx in our hand. One of the things that you want to do with Unesh is get him down and then really kind of start casting a lot of different Sphinxes to get those Factor Fictions going. So oh, there we go. Draw into another one. I'll take that. Let's go for Unesh. Let's go and tap down for that. Like the land drop first, get down Shrine, and then go for Unesh. Alright, look at the top 4 cards here. Our opponent wants to split this pile up. At this point right now, we'll go and choose pile 2, because like I said, that's going to give us another Sphinx. Let's go and get the Lightning Greaves onto Unesh. And let's go and push across for 4, knocking them down to 26, and we'll get him for that nice, sweet 4 commander damage. Okay, but other than that, I'm trying to remember, think if there's, I did add Brainstorm back to the deck. You know, it's nice just to have Brainstorm and Ponder. It's always nice to just have different things like that, but as far as anything else, I think that's about it. I did think about adding Dig Through Time in here. I love Dig Through Time, but you know, I think I may end up getting that going, because once we get those Factor Fictions going, so now that I think about it, now that I'm playing, we get those cards going in the graveyard with Unesh, makes for a really easy Dig Through Time. So that's something I'll definitely be adding after this particular match. But hopefully our opponent gets a few more lands. I know it's not fun playing against something like this where we get a lot of card value going. Let's go and get down Guardian. And this is actually a pretty good pile because the Amiibo Changeling gets everything. So let's go and choose pile 1. We'll go and get down Mana Vault with that last mana. You can definitely see with this fast mana how how nasty it can be sometimes. Let's go and go for Sphinx of Wood Hun. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. And when you get down Sphinx of Wood Hun, you get that extra trigger entering the battlefield. Oh, feels really good because you get the Factor Fiction for 5, and then you have the Unesh trigger following it shortly. Our opponent's going to scoop it up on this one, and it wasn't really fair to our opponent. They were stuck on 3 lands the entire game. So I'll probably I'll do something with this video. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.